Greetings, YouTube. LMS Tactical here. It's not me, so let me just square that away. And before I get into this thing, man, just let you know what's going on here. I'm at my dad's, actually. I gotta update his computer and do a few things like that. But before I go in, I was gonna run something by you. And it is cold out here today. It's cold and windy, and I just saw in the camera something that I wanted to remind you guys of, which is I buy every gadget that I see. If you sell gadgets, anything with a button, get a hold of me because I buy it, whether I ever use it or not. Who would not want one of these? I mean, come on. I'll probably never use it, but what a good idea. So, it's not a happy subject, but it's something I wanted to share with you guys. Because in tragedy, I always try to find something good, you know, and in this case, it's kind of hard because not a whole lot of good. The only good I could find out of this one, out of this situation, is a reminder for all of us to just really, really enjoy each other, enjoy our family. If all our family are assholes or dead, enjoy our cat or our dog or our goldfish or the plant that you take care of. Life is fleeting, man, and there's certainly nothing fair about life. I mean, my dad and I always talk about that shit. You know, everything in the universe, man, from the macro to the micro is devouring the thing next to it. You know, whether it's microscopic cells or cancer cells or fucking black holes and galaxies, and you know, everything's just consuming. You know, it's the nature of fucking life. So my daughter, her ex-fiance, has two girls, and these girls are really cute. And you know, all little kids are cute with few exceptions. And so, you know, you got to stay alert, you know, because there's nothing, I don't think there's anything this guy could have ever done. You know, none of us know what's going on. As I'm sitting here, there could be a cell dividing in my freaking head right now that's going to kill me tomorrow. That's just life. And that's sort of the whole point of the video, is we got to remember that shit. We don't want to dwell on it, but it's good to remember that stuff. So in his case, his 6-year-old little girl, sweetest little girl, like all little 6-year-old girls, he noticed that there was something wrong with her gait. Her left leg wasn't coming up right, you know. And when she went to get into his truck, she was having problems with it. And then somebody told a joke, you know, the next day, and when she laughed, the left side of her face didn't react right. And he was being very sharp and very, observant. He rushed her to the local hospital because he thought she's displaying signs and symptoms of a stroke. You know, so they get to the hospital and they run some tests, a CAT scan or whatever, and they see blood on the brain. Medevac her to Washington, D.C. Children's Hospital and do more tests. And sure enough, she's got it's like the worst place you could have something like this. But there's a tumor in her brain stem that's taken up like 25% of the brain stem, which means this thing's been going on for a long time, but there was just no symptoms. You know, how are you going to find something like that? You know, and in a 6-year-old little girl. And there's like 10 people in the country that are willing to operate on a tumor this size in that location. And there's also a test, and I can't remember these acronyms, but you know, they have to drill through the head and do a biopsy, which was, you know, she's recovering from that now. And depending on the outcome of the biopsy, one kind of tumor is treatable. The other kind is a death sentence. And of course, that's what she has. So here's this little girl who, you know, just went through Christmas and the whole bit. And this is happening every second of every day in every city and every village across the world. This is life. And, you know, she may have 2 months. She may, you know, no more than a year. And that's like a stretch.
So me being me, man, I think things way too deep, and it's almost overwhelming for me. I mean, I immediately start thinking, oh man, she's never gonna drive, she's never gonna have a date and fall in love and get married and have kids, and all this, you know. The flip side of that is she'll never have her heart broken by a cheating spouse, or she'll never suffer the horror of a head-on collision when you're behind the wheel. I mean, you do what you can to clean up these thoughts, but my mind is so, I can handle anything, but pain and fear with animals and children. But yeah, that's the thing, man. My message to us and myself. Let's make it a point, man, at least once a day at the minimum, man, to go, hey, I'm alive right now. I ain't always going to be alive. The people that are around us are alive right now. And let's enjoy them, and let's always be aware of the fact that we're all just one test result away from that terrible news, man. And, if you believe, prayers are accepted. Her name is Maddie. So prayers for Maddie would be accepted and appreciated by me, and I'm sure her family too. Now, me with Charlie. Charlie was given, my dog, for those that don't know me, my golden retriever was given 3 weeks maximum to live. I became a freaking chemist, and I stretched his life out to 19 months without any symptoms of stage 4 lymphoma. And I did that with a lot of holistic stuff and natural stuff. Key thing was CBD oil, not the CBD oil that you can buy online, but the CBD oil you got to go fucking meet shady people behind the 7-Eleven and clear everything for cops and then do the transaction. And thank God this guy's open to it, because I told him, through my daughter, man, if that was my daughter, I would do whatever it took, And at the very least, CBD oil will shrink that tumor, and it will extend her life. And let's face it, if he gets a hold of the same shit that I was giving to Charlie, she's gonna be feeling pretty good, because Charlie was, moving in slow motion with a smile on his face, eating a bag of Doritos every day. But anyways, take care of each other and appreciate what we have. And that's it. Hope you guys are having fun. I'm going to go digging in my dad's computer. And if you've ever tried, my dad watches these videos, so don't take offense, Dad. But if you've ever tried to work with a guy that's older, and my dad's like 83, it's not easy. Speaking of my dad, on the last video, and then I'll end this, I want to thank everybody for your comments are so good, man, that I have to sit down and I feel like I should write a book on each response, but know that I read every comment and I appreciate everyone. But on the last one, where I kind of went into my life in the military and the whole bit, my dad, understandably so, I was talking to him on the phone, he feels kind of guilty. He's like, holy shit, these people must be thinking, where the hell was I? And I told him, I said, look, man, after the way I described my mother, I'm pretty sure they have a good idea why you weren't there, and I ain't the first, won't be the last, and it's almost sadly the norm for people to grow up without a father. That's not unique at all. So fortunately, my dad and I, started a relationship kind of when I got out of the Army, and it was, pretty light relationship. And it wasn't until the last 5 years, man, that him and I have really gotten to know each other. And I mean, we've made up for lost time. I mean, we have gotten into some fucking arguments, man. And it's not me dropping the guilt bomb on him, but, he's understandably defensive. I mean, how'd you like to have your kid, tell you when he's in his 50s, my dad just finding out some of this shit with you guys. My mom dropping me off in Watts to get beat up, kicking me out of the house when I'm 4 years old, and the cops finding me walking around in my pajamas in the middle of the night, that kind of shit. I don't say these things to hurt him, and I don't say them to hurt her wherever she is. I say them because clearly by the responses I get, there's a lot of people dealing with a lot of the same shit. And we help each other. Not everybody's willing or able to talk about this stuff. I am. My life's an open book because, if I step on a nail, I'm going to tell you guys about it so that maybe you guys will be careful when you're walking around in a fucking nail testing factory yard. Anyways, I got to go. You guys stay safe. LMS Tactical. I'm out.